I read a sign and now I believe in my ability to do the entire tour. Don't blink, because you will miss it if you do.
We are Tiny Travel 2, a family of 4 adults and 2 children, including Katie, Luke, Chiago, Amy Lee, Sophie and Millie. After travelling extensively through Southeast Asia, we found ourselves back in Australia in early 2020. Now that we are back in Australia, we have partnered with Let's Go Motorhomes and we are completing a 3-week tour of Northeast New South Wales.
Good morning, everybody. We left you yesterday in the attempts to find a free park for Lulu, and we came across at 7 o'clock last night in the dark a place called Lake Wallace, and we were told that it was beautiful. We were advised by a local to come down, but when we came down last night everything was pitch black and you couldn't see anything. But we've woken up to this view this morning. So today we're going to grab some supplies and head down to a place called Lake Lyle. It's meant to be just as beautiful as this, and we're going to spend the night down there. Before we do that, we're going to grab some supplies. Gas refill.
Nice and easy.
Done. Have found our way to Lake Lyle. We've just managed to plug ourselves in, organise lunch, and this is our home for the day. It's dinner time here at Lake Lyle, and the groovy thing about the lake is that they have these massive fire pits. You bring your own wood, or you can buy the wood from the corner shop, and you can spend the night by the fire with this view.
We're going to feed the ducks. My dad went to get some bread and biscuits.
Yeah, because we were throwing rocks in the pond to see the ripples, and the duck thought we were feeding him, so we thought we'll go get some crackers and feed him, hey?
We're feeding the ducks, look!
Good morning, everybody. We are still here in the wonderful town of Lithgow, and as you know, we have been here for a couple of days now just chilling out by the lake. But today we visited the information centre and learnt a little bit about the history of Lithgow. And Lithgow is one of the oldest cities in Australia. When you drive around the city, you can see so many old buildings, but this one behind me is called the Lithgow Blast Furnace, and it's a building that was erected in 1906, and it's actually been left to go to ruin since 1928. So it's almost 100 years that it's been sitting here like this, slowly falling apart, but they have made it into it's free to come and see and walk around and learn a little bit about the history and why it was put here. And so that's what we're going to do now, and I'm sure as we walk through you guys will understand why this is one of the main tourist attractions to the Lithgow area.
So we're walking along here at the what's it called, the furnace, right? Blast furnace. And we just found this really impressive termite mound.
Definitely not a termite mound.
That's huge, Mom.
Did anyone take the time to read what was written there?
why read when you can just guess? The bottom part of it is the stove. The bit that's still there is the stove. And then there used to be really long pipes on top of it that was the chimney. And it had originally had 3 stoves underneath it. So, and I think that I read that the original furnace was built in 1906. So the story behind the plantation is that one guy came in, had the idea to do the iron here, started building it, and then I think maybe 10 years later,
He lost all his money.
he lost all his money, so he had to sell it, and he sold it to 2 brothers, who came in and made it this massive factory that actually it was the only iron factory in Australia for 7 years. And it was really big. They were doing 2,000 tons a week of iron for 120 men, so it was the biggest factory that they had heard of in the area. The need for iron ran low in the Great Depression, so they moved it. They just left all of this here and went and rebuilt it somewhere else where it was cheaper for them to get the goods, the things that they required, to the factory, and they just left this sitting here. So it's now a historic site.
Did you learn any more fun facts?
These are the boilers, which were replaced at some point. They don't have the year, by gas waste. So
Fire.
yeah, so obviously they used to bring coal up here, put them in these little tunnel ways, shove them in, light it on fire.
I read a sign.
I read a sign, and now I believe in my ability to do the entire tour. Not really. Anyway, so they used to create in the ground, you can see here, please refer to my previously provided board, in the ground, and then the iron would come out of here, flush through here, and settle in these bars that they had made out of the sand, settle in the bars, and then that's how they got their slices of iron.
So the process made approximately 18 to 36 tons of iron.
Yeah, but the problem was that when it came out of, the section prior to that was unknown to them. So they would just sit and wait for it to be ready to get heavy enough to let out, and then they'd all have to jump out of the way.
It says that when the liquid iron ran out, it travelled down the main runner to fill the bottom first row. As each row filled, a man rushed up with an iron stopper to divert the stream into the next row. In this way, the men gradually worked their way back up to the furnace.
We're going to Hartley.
Welcome to Hartley! Don't blink, because you will miss it if you do. It's a total of 17 buildings. Let's go explore. This is the courthouse. This is Old Trolley. And the post office! This is the shed, which they now use as the toilet, but I'll show you the original toilet. Let's go. And that's the toilet. My lord, that's a far walk from the house. Presbytery. Church. This is the Farmer's Inn. That's the wool shed. The Ivy Cottage. That's the Shamrock Inn. Last stop in Hartley is the service station, and I'm going to refuel. Does anyone know what a pig iron is? Because I don't know what a pig iron is.
What's your impressions of Hartley, babe?
You can't keep up. I'm going too quick.
That's it for Hartley. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell.
Yeah.
Woo! Yeah.